We're back on the Lobo basketball pregame show. New Mexico is at New Mexico State. It's the rematch in the Rio Grande rivalry at the Pan Am Center. We have Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. Coach Pitino, great to be with you as always. And let's talk about a really good win against Santa Clara. Now you've had a chance to digest tape. I know you loved the defense. What stood out for you?
Yeah, the defense, the disruption, the 18 steals, 26 turnovers forced, continue to offensively play well. And I think part of, if you get that many steals, you can get out on the break and you can shoot a higher percentage. So, we've said over and over again, if we continue to share the ball like we're sharing, it just provides this energy for you on the defensive side of it. And guys are playing for each other. What I've liked over this 8-game winning streak is we're getting better. I mean, you want to win, obviously, but we're just getting better every game. So the effort has been terrific, and hopefully we keep it going.
We've talked about the infectious nature of sharing the ball. There's an infectiousness about the defense as well, too. And you've talked about how it kind of has been feeding you, too, emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, we've changed the way we guarded ball screens after the St. Mary's game, and if all 5 guys are not connected with the way that we're playing, then you're going to leave guys open because we're taking some more chances. We're putting 2 on the ball. We're rotating more. So it forces you to be way more connected defensively instead of if a guy gets beat, oh, that was so-and-so's fault. Well, now it's the helper type mentality. Our deflections we're about 40-plus a game, which has been great. And at the end of the day, it comes down to effort, communication, and we've certainly showed those too.
It's certainly coming along, and I see you practice on recovering constantly during the defensive work in practice, and the guys continue to get better at it, don't they?
Yeah, they're understanding it, where we need to take our chances, where we need to rotate to block a shot. And what happens if you do rotate to block a shot, the next guy's got to chip down and rebound. If you come off one pass away to try to keep the ball out of the paint, the next guy over is going to help if you leave that guy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you guard the ball and rebound, limit them to one shot, there's a million different ways to do it.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is alongside pregame at the Pan Am Center, New Mexico, at New Mexico State, as the Lobos go for a series sweep this season of the Aggies. Going into the season, you thought you had the personnel to do it. Now that you're in it and your team is getting really good at it, how good has your full court pressure been?
Well, it's been disruptive. You're not always going to turn teams over, but, with Jalen House at the front of anything, you're going to bother the ball and really, really make it uncomfortable. We come off the bench with a lot of guys who can guard, a lot of guys who can create turnovers, and that's really the key is you're not letting up over a 40-minute span. We've got guys who are long. Quentin Webb, Isaac Michiel's got long arms, JT can block shots, Nelly can block shots, Donovan's got long arms, True's got long arms, and that really helps the disruption of everything. So it all starts with making them uncomfortable when they inbound the ball. And then not letting up, subbing and not letting up with that energy and effort.
It's now double-digit games where you haven't had either House or Mashburn in your backcourt. We know how important they've been to your team for 2 years running, yet your team is still scoring the ball at such an efficient rate. How?
It starts with defense. You're getting out on the break, which provides easier baskets. If you play better defense, you're going to have your better offensive numbers because you're not going against a set defense. So I think a lot of it has been that. I think a lot of it is Donovan Dent is shooting 50+% from the field, which means he's making a lot of layups. Guys like True Washington, Jamal Baker are making shots. Jaden Toppin shooting 70-something%. So if JT's going to do that, that's obviously going to help your percentage as well. So again, it all starts with defensive rebounding. If you can get out on the break, you're going to shoot a high percentage.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is alongside pregame. New Mexico at New Mexico State coming up from the Pan Am Center. The Aggies have played one contest since you beat them in the pit by 44. They have some new personnel. What does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, they're physical. They're tough. They're establishing an identity. We understand how hard it is to beat a team twice. They're in their building. They have not lost. So we've got to learn from the first game, good, bad, or whatever, but we got to flush that. That has nothing to do with today. So it's Femi obviously is a very good player. They don't mind subbing and They're not worried about foul trouble, all those little things. So we know it'll be a tough task for us.
What about Petway, who's just recently eligible and he's played his first game for them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anyone who's not played a lot and then all of a sudden they're made eligible, you never know what you can get. So it's like anyone else that you throw in there. It's an added element, but it's another body. Like I said, they don't mind going deep into the lineup, especially with the amount that they've been foul prone. So it's another body for sure.
Two new names as well in terms of not having played the previous time the two teams got together. Suggs is back after injury, and Rawls didn't play against New Mexico the first go-around either.
Yeah, very, very similar, like I said before. I mean, I think he's trying to find his rotations. Those two guys didn't play for us the first time, but they're solid players, and they're trying to build an identity of toughness, rebounding, defense, and they contribute to that.
Odekale, you talked about him, and obviously as he goes, they're going to go, the transfer from Pitt and Seton Hall. Do they play off of him, or is he just trying to get his? When it looks best for them, how does it look?
Well, he's a tall guard. He's a physical guard. They put the ball in his hands. They put him in ball screens. He could see over the defense. Last game he didn't play a lot for whatever reason, but he's a very, very talented player. When you look at him, you can tell he's played at the high major level. So it's got to be a team effort on.
And what about the emotions of playing in this building for the first time for the vast majority of your guys? Jalen House knows about playing on this court and in this environment, but it's new to everybody else.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. That never matters much to us, or at least to my message to them. We want to be the same, whether it's Louisiana Tech, UT Arlington, or New Mexico State. And that's not to diminish the rivalry in any way, but you want to take away from as much stress and anxiety as possible. So you don't worry about the crowd. You don't worry about fans, good, bad, or whatever. That should not affect your professional approach to this game on a daily basis. There's a lot of noise in our world. Social media, your phone, mentions, all those things. Fans are another thing where you got to do your very, very best to block them out.
Final question. You did beat them by 44. It's human nature. Do you have to fight complacency at all?
I won't be complacent, so I'm not worried about that. But it's as I told our guys, like, that has nothing to do with what we're going to do tonight. We'll learn good things, bad things, whatever. They'll learn from it as well. But this contest has nothing to do with the first game. We played really, really well. Didn't rebound the ball great. Fouled a little bit too much. So we'll learn from it. But all types of new elements that we don't know are in store tonight. And it's a great opportunity.
A great chance to sweep your rival, win your 9th in a row, and improve to 10-1. Go get them. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino alongside pregame New Mexico at New Mexico State coming up on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Back inside the Pan Am Center postgame, New Mexico knocks off host New Mexico State in a nail-biter. Lobos 73, Aggie 72. Final postgame show is always presented by Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Winning entertainment including simulcast racing, live music, dining, the best games, and more. That's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. I'm Robert Portnoy. Welcome back, my broadcast partner, Hunter Green. Post-game, we'll hear from Lobo head coach Richard Pitino shortly. And, wow, partner, it looked like it might have gotten away from New Mexico. And then the defense did its thing and created the stops and turnovers, and the remarkable Donovan Dent delivers the game-winning bucket in one of the most spectacular end-to-end runs and layup finishes that you'll ever see.
Hurry, start the bus, because New Mexico Lobos stole this one. I mean, how do you win on the road with 16 turnovers and only shooting 50% from the free throw line?
That is a puzzle, a conundrum. Somehow UNM figured it out, and it was a beauty to behold in the end. But it got ugly there late, and the Lobos very fortunate to escape with a W. What was the difference? How did they do it?
The difference is defense. Defense always travels. And for New Mexico, when they weren't knocking down shots, they came up with steals. Nelly with 5 steals. And now a lot of that was on the double teams, the traps out in the backcourt. He created 5 turnovers.
Oh, the Lobos trailed 72-68 with 1:10 remaining. And New Mexico was the team that scored the final 5 points of the game, partner.
Yeah. Dent, like you said, it was amazing that end-to-end score on the left end on the left side of the basket, scoop under with the right hand, English off the glass at top speed. That was amazing.
And having the experience, the confidence, really the impervious facade of a graduate like Jalen House in the moment at the end with the Lobos down 4 to get a good look at a 3 off a great feed by Jamal Baker and completely, fearlessly rise and knock it down with everything on the line. If that shot doesn't go, the Lobos don't win this game.
No.
And he brings them within a point with a massive three-pointer. And it only took 10 seconds. It went from 1:10 to a minute to go. That was how quickly he shot it. That's how quickly he got it. And that got the Lobos a chance in this game at the finish.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of keys at the end. I mean, I thought Nelly's defense and that steal and the breakaway layup by Dent, that was huge. And then, of course, the knockdown 3 by House. No, it was defense that kept them in it, and I thought it was defense that really ultimately won this game.
Nelly Jr. Joseph, you talked about it, partner. Just amazing what he does when he flashes and the Lobos blitz that ball screen and double-team the dribbler. He's devastating. 5 steals in this game for a big fella, and we're talking out at center court. He's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen his growth since the day he's gotten here, and his footwork, his energy level, it's just 180 degrees. He's turned it around, and he's been a contributor on the defensive end, as Coach Pitino thought he would. Not necessarily just blocking the shots, but deflections and steals.
Another double-double for the fabulous freshman J.T. Toppin. 18 points, 11 rebounds, and how about this, partner? 8 of his 11 boards on the offensive end?
Yeah. Well, that's because we shot the ball so poorly.
But you still got to go get it.
Yeah, you got to go get it. So, yeah, those are kind of a lot of getting your own rebounds, but no, I thought he played tremendous down low. The freshman.
Lobo freshman was awesome. And Jalen House, 1 of 7 first half from the field, and he ends up producing 14 points. He goes 3 of 7 from the field in the second half. He knocks down 2 threes, including the critical one. And, of course, without the 6 assists from Donovan Dent as well, the Lobos are sharing the ball beautifully. 15 more assists here tonight, partner, on 28 field goals. When you've got assists on more than half of your field goals, you're doing it right.
Yeah, and I thought they could have moved the ball even more. But, no, I mean, credit to Aggies, too. I thought the defense was tough. And then in the second half, how they knocked down those threes, that really was the difference in the second half for them. I thought, but New Mexico hung in there and gritted it out.
Yeah, they were only 2 for 11 from 3, the Aggies, in the first half, but they go 7 for 9 in the second half.
Yeah.
And it felt like 3 or 4 consecutive possessions. They banged a 3, and that's what gave them that 2-possession lead.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Lobo head coach Richard Pitino as he approaches here courtside post-game in the Pan Am Center. Post-game show brought to you by Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino, and the Lobos pull it out at the finish. Coach Pitino, what a frantic finish. You guys are down at 1:10 by 4. You score the final 5 and get it done. Congratulations, a tremendous win.
Yeah, Jalen House made a big 3. Nelly had a huge steal on the ball screen. And then Donovan Dent's finish was about as absurd as I've ever seen. So just 3 huge plays, and then we do a great job of guarding the last play there. That was a game. It's hard to play this game, especially when you win like we did in our fashion at our place. We knew that team's going to get better and better. They got some guys back and eligible and everything like that. So we just needed to find a way to win the game. So we made 3 big plays down the stretch and found a way to get a win on the road.
Coach, offensively, as you guys struggled in the first half, what was the plan? What was the strategy to score the basketball? I
thought we were a little soft at the basket. We're missing free throws. We got to be better there. I mean, we're missing 11 free throws, no good. Donovan wasn't as great in his ball screens as he normally is. So we were able to get the ball to Nelly. I thought he was really good down low. JT, 8 offensive rebounds, was also terrific. So that's the type of game where you miss some Ashburn. where, I know people think, oh, we're better without ridiculous. Mashburn's one of the best scorers in the country, and sometimes when you need to go get a bucket, he can do that. I try to tell Jalen, you missed 2 months of play. You're not going to be yourself right away. So stop being so hard on yourself.
Coach, I'm going to go back to the first exhibition, CSU Pueblo, and I remember what you told us post-game. You said at halftime of that game, you put JYD on your whiteboard. You said you wanted Junkyard Dogs, and we were talking about it. Isaac Mushila gave you such critical minutes tonight, almost 20 of them. One time he's coming back to the bench after you took him out. He's grabbing his hand. We know it's going to bug him. It's going to continue to bug him. He looked like he tweaked an ankle. Hunter pointed that out, and he knocked down a 3 because he knew he couldn't do anything at that moment. Other than that, he's just, the 9 points to 6 rebounds. What does he give your team? He's amazing.
Well, he doesn't give us free throw shooting at the end of the game. Yeah, he's just a winner, finds a way to just get extra possessions. He's tough. He's a warrior. He does need to knock down those free throws because we need him in there. Defensively, he's great switching ball screens. He's great at rebounding the ball, but we're having some issues at the end of the game, especially those bigs. They got to be able to knock down those free throws.
Coach, going back to the offense, as they start to crowd the middle, Dent can't get in. He splits the double team, but then once he gets in there's another defender meeting him. Was there any thought about backdoor cuts? Because it seemed like they were overplaying you guys on the wing.
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously a lot in there for that. The problem was they were pressuring the ball handler so much that it needed to come from our four-man, and we talked about that. He said, we got to trust JT that he can throw it because they were just denying us. And we were trying to we went flow, no sets, middle of the game. That's where we build the lead. Then we started slowing down a little bit because if they're going to pressure Donovan like that, he needs to get up and go. But, yeah, you need to loosen up the defense by back cutting. I thought we were better at that early than we've been tonight. But I told them after the game, they're not all going to be beautiful masterpieces. The last 6 or 7 games have been fun. We're scoring. Sometimes you just got to find a way to go get a win on the road and flush it and learn from it, and we'll be better from it.
What did you say at halftime? Because they came out like rabid dogs. You go on that 12-0 run. It was your defense that was just cranked up at the start of the second half.
I told them exactly that. I said, you're not going to score 60 points a half. At some point, San Diego State's done it for years, this defense and rebounding. We've got the talent and the personnel to do it. We've got to be all about that. We can't worry about shots. We can't worry about touches. Just set the tone with our pressure defense. Built that lead. Credit to them. They made a lot of threes and came back.
Yeah, as defense travels when the shot's not traveling, right?
That's what we said. We said if you want to win on the road, your defense has got to be elite. Offense will be fine. Can always get better. Once Mash gets back, that'll be better. But the defense always travels, like Hunter said.
They did not make their threes in the first half. They make 7 of 9 in the second half. What about the defense there? And were you happy with the threes that they were getting, or are those the looks too good?
No, I thought they were good looks. I thought they were doing a really good job of getting 2 on the ball, throwing over us and skip. We weren't covering enough. We made a little bit of an adjustment towards the end, got the shooters a little bit better. But they went on that little run where they were hitting 3 after 3 after 3. They were clearly looking for it, and credit to those guys. They were making the shots.
Sometimes it's having the right guys at the foul line at the right time, and I guess that can impact who's on the court in the crunch minutes when you need to make free throws. But we were talking about it. Nelly Jr. Joseph was unbelievable guarding the ball screens. He had 5 steals tonight, Coach.
He won the game with that steal. We wanted to switch and be aggressive, and he made a play, and Donnie doesn't get that layup unless Nelly does that. The free throws are hard, but he's bringing so many other things that we just felt like we had to leave him in there.
Coach, it was a tough one. You walk away, like I was telling her, start the bus, get out of here. What's your takeaway from this? I mean, what is it that just this Lobo team can learn?
Tough teams find a way to do it. It's not easy to sweep your rival. It's not easy. We've been undefeated in this building since we've been here. So as I said, they're not all going to be beautiful masterpieces. They don't need to be. At the end of the day, we're sitting at 10-1. We've had major injuries to 2 of our best players. We'll get home, see if we can find a way to get Wednesday, take a little break, continue to get healthy.
Hope you continue to get healthy, too,
Yeah, I don't
Coach.
feel good. Stop asking. Thank you.
Lobo head
Thanks,
coach
Coach.
Richard Pitino, post-game, courtside in the Pan Am Center. And a thank you for Coach Pitino to the Lobo fans who are here this evening. There was a good contingent behind us.
Yep.
They were vocal. Not the biggest crowd in the Pan Am, but when They got their double-digit run going in the second half, and they got back into the game after the Lobos had pushed to a double-digit lead. This place got loud, and you could feel the rivalry come to life.
Yeah, and of course, because the Aggies were right there. They had the lead with, minute 7 left?
Minute 10.
Minute 10.
Yep.
So, no, the Aggies, I thought there was a hard-fought game. I thought their strategy, without their top player, was right there. I mean, they had a chance, an opportunity here. In a rebuild year for the Aggies, New Mexico found a way to get it done on the road defensively.
Jamal Baker Jr. is going to join us here courtside momentarily inside the Pan Am Center. We're live post-game show presented by the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. We've got the adjustment of the game coming up. It's brought to you by the Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of UNM Athletics. That's still to come. Let's get some individual numbers for you. The game-high scorer is Jackson Posey for New Mexico State. He goes for 22, 9 of 13 floor, 4 of 5 arc, 4 boards, 2 assists for Jackson Posey. Also turned it over a team-high 5 times. Double figures as well for 4 other Aggies. Suggs goes for 12, 5 of 8 field, 1 of 1 arc, 1 of 3 foul line. 11 apiece for Cook and Carpenter. Both make 2 threes among their field goals. Rawls goes for 10, 4 of 10 field. He had 3 rebounds and a team-high 4 assists. They get 4 points from Kenyanga and 2 points from Iziagu. For the Lobos, New Mexico led in scoring by the freshman J.T. Toppin, 18 points, 11 rebounds for another double-double for the fabulous Frosch. 8 of 14 from the field, 0 for 1 from the arc, 2 of 3 at the charity stripe. Toppin did turn it over 5 times in the Lobo victory here tonight. The Lobos also get 14 points apiece from Donovan Dent and Jalen House, the 2 fantastic guards. Dent with 6 assists, House with 3. Dent 6 of 14 field, 0 of 1 arc, 2 of 2 line. House 14 points, 4 of 14 field, 2 of 4 arc, including the big 3 with a minute to go that got his team within 1. He was 4 of 6 at the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers for House. 10 points as well for Nelly Jr. Joseph, who grabs 6 rebounds and goes 4 of 7 from the field, but just 2 of 7 at the charity stripe. How about the bench play of Isaac Mushila? 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 of 6 field, 2 of 3 at the arc, but just 1 of 4 at the free throw line. As well, the Lobos get 5 points from True Washington, 2 of 6 from the floor with a rebound and 2 assists in 22 minutes. That's the scoring. Jamal Baker Jr. as well with 3 points for the Lobos as he banged a 3. He had 4 rebounds and 2 assists for the Lobos in 27 minutes. Coach said it, partner. Not every win's going to be a work of art, and the Lobos have now won 9 in a row. New Mexico improves to 10-1. Their fabulous non-conference run rolls on. Over the last 2 years now, the Lobos in non-conference play are 23-1. And it's a rivalry win. And you knew this was going to be different than it was 2 weeks ago in the pit.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, no question. I thought the Aggies really impressed me here with their, adjustment to how they played the Lobos. And it was a test. Yeah, New Mexico's got, 2 more non-conference games before they head into conference play?
Let's do our adjustment of the game. It's brought to you by the Joint, the official chiropractor of UNM Athletics. And, partner, I'm going to go to the start of the second half and the Lobos adjustment. And Coach talked about it. We got to crank it up on the defensive end. He said that was the message in the locker room. The Lobos go on that 12-point spurt, 12-0 run, and it happened, it felt like in the blink of an eye there. At the start of the second half, the Lobos pushed to a double-digit lead, and we knew that pressure defense could create problems for the Aggies, and that adjustment was critical.
It was, and it was defense, full court, man-to-man, trapping defense. I mean, they were able, and I think that is the difference between this year's team and last year's team, where when they weren't knocking down shots and they weren't scoring the basketball, New Mexico didn't have that defensive ability to do what they're doing this year and trapping and using their bench and all the effort. That was I thought the difference, and that was the adjustment in the second half.
I love what you said. You said defense travels. Defense travels in a way that offense sometimes does not. And when you're not making shots, can the defense make up for that? And clearly here tonight, when the Lobos as a team finish 44% from the floor, the defense was able to make up the difference. We're joined by a veteran, 25-year-old Jamal Baker Jr. And Bake, tell us about the locker room at halftime. And what got into you guys, because the defense at the start of the second half was ridiculous. You scored 12 in a row. You were turning them over, it seemed like, on every possession.
Really just to come out with energy. I mean, we felt like we were a little sluggish early in the game and not playing as hard as we could. And we just wanted to come out with energy and just really play hard. And that just, I mean, it forced turnovers, and we were able to get out on the break and score. And, I mean, we ended up letting up, but we came out with a tough win.
Jamal, you played 27 minutes. You had 3 points and 4 boards. But really, what was your role out there tonight?
Just to do whatever I could to help the team win. They weren't helping off of me much at all, so I didn't really get too many shots, which, I mean, I'm looking to be aggressive, but that's going to happen sometimes. So, I mean, really just to do anything, whether it was defend, whether it was rebound, whether it was whatever. I just wanted to just come out here and play hard and try to get the win, and we did that.
Well, there was a very big find, Bake, and it happened with the Lobos down by 4. And Jalen House was there on the wing, and you saw him and set up the 3 that got the Lobos within 1. Tell us about the way that possession unfolded.
I mean, the play was designed for Donnie to get baseline and look for a little hammer right here on the drift. But they cut it off. Donnie passed it to me. I was looking to shoot it, and I was ready to shoot it. But I drove it and saw House lifting off this wing right here, and, I mean, got it to him, and I'm thankful that he made it.
That's a veteran move right there, veteran decision. You got a great shot when you had a good shot, but you got a better shot.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'm just glad he made it, really.
Well, and I think
we all are.
Everybody. The experience involved in that play, though. I mean, you know, you're a 7th-year graduate. You've got a graduate in house, and the comfort, you know, in an environment like this, you've played as a visiting player in the pit. You've seen it even louder than this when it's against you. You guys were able to keep your cool in the moment. I guess there were some freshmen that this is the first time in it. How about the way that JT Toppin handled it? He was unbelievable tonight.
For sure. And, I mean, he's incredible. We all know that. He's been good all year. So, I mean, he works hard. He's going to continue to work hard. He's going to continue to get better. And it's only up for him, up from here.
I thought that the defense of Nelly Jr. Joseph was amazing as well. But when you guys, double off the ball screen, it feels like his length. He almost looks like an octopus out there.
Man, for sure. I mean, we all feel it in practice for sure. So, I mean, when he's up there reading the ball screens, man, and he's as aggressive as he was, it only helps the team.
It's not something that you can put your finger on. It does feel like many things in basketball, it can be contagious. Like it can be something that you can get hot streaks and cold streaks, and it can happen together. And we talked about it with Coach with regard to the way the team moves the ball. When a couple guys are moving it, it seems to move. Everybody's moving it, and wide open shots, they just happen. And when 2 guys are all over the ball, guarding the ball, then everybody gets rabid, and the defense just looks like it's completely fast and furious. The free throws can go that way too. I mean, is that something? I mean, you're a veteran. You've seen it. You've seen it go both ways. Do you guys talk about that at all or think about that at all? You're going to shoot it better than you did tonight, but it's tough to win when you make 11 or 22.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we work every day on our free throws and things like that, but games like this are going to happen. I mean, it happens to everybody. So you can't really avoid it, but it's important in these tough games to come out with a win. It's a rivalry game, and, I mean, we knew they were going to come out and put their best foot forward. And, I mean, I'm just glad we came out with the win, but there are going to be tough games like this all the time.
Yeah, an ugly win is still a what?
Still a win every time, every time.
I'll follow up quickly. As a veteran player, when you are feeling a little uncomfortable at the line, do you have anything that you do in your workouts? Can you simulate pressure free throws? What have you done to try to, make yourself a better foul shooter over the years?
I mean, really just put the reps in, put the time in, and, work on them. There's nothing to really, other than being there before, and I mean, having experiences with the crowd screaming at you and things like that, there's nothing really to prepare for it. But, I mean, just putting the reps in and going up there and shooting it confidently.
Can't buy experience. You can only get it.
And you can just live with the result.
Well, Bake, great win, great pass, great finish, huge one for New Mexico. Congratulations, buddy.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Safe trip back.
Thank you. You too.
Jamal Baker Jr., our guest post-game. Well, big one for the Lobos. They knock off New Mexico State in the Pan Am final score 73-72 UNM. Let's put a ribbon on a massive W for the Lobos. This W, amazingly enough, counts exactly the same as the 44-point win in the pit 2 weeks ago.
That's what I was telling them. I said, hey, an ugly win is a what? A win, and you'll take it. And, I think good teams find a way to win in ugly situations. But I thought clearly it was a defense. Yeah, Jalen House knocks down the three, but of course that doesn't happen if Nelly doesn't get, they don't win and Nelly doesn't get the deflection and the steal and Dent with the run out. I mean, it all comes together.
Lobos will next take to the court in the Pit. It'll be on Wednesday of next week. It is December 20th. The Lobos will welcome UC Irvine to the fabulous Pit. And it'll be a 7 o'clock tip. Our airtime 6:30 with the Lobo basketball pregame show. New Mexico has now won 9 in a row. The Lobos improved to 10-1. They send New Mexico State to its 7th defeat. They're 5-7. The Lobos sweep the Aggies this season, and New Mexico has won 5 of the last 6 against New Mexico State. Well, one more before the holidays. Just 2 more before conference play. It's starting to get to nitty-gritty time, partner.
Yes, it is. We're getting close to conference play, but next Wednesday, I think. Wednesday's going to be a tough one. You got UC Irvine.
Yeah, and they're really good.
Yeah, they are. So it's getting there.
All right. Thank you, partner.
Thanks, Rob.
For Bob Walpole, our producer and engineer, my partner's Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. That'll do it for us for tonight. Your final score for the final time as the Lobos sweep the Aggies this season in the home and home. New Mexico comes from behind late to beat New Mexico State. Lobos 73, Aggies 72. This is Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.
You have been listening to New Mexico Lobos Basketball. This exclusive presentation of Lobo Basketball is brought to you by U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Larry H. Miller Auto Dealership.